Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is SITI. I will explain the material about modal equaries basic grammar. What is modal equary? Modal is a query having properties can or verb cannot be used on the tail on and where it connects them with a main verb. They are used alongside a main verb to change its meaning significantly. Modal query expresses general aspect. For example, modal can express the speaker while something is naturally expressible, permissible, possible, or probable, and students they can completely understand up to activities degree on activities. Role model inquiry. There are some things to follow when use model. A. Model shouldn't take a S ending when the subject is he, she, or it. Example correct. She can do it. Incorrect. She can't do it. B. Model is followed by invented from a verb being not. Example correct. She can do it. Incorrect. She can do it, or she can does it, or she can did it. The only explain is out with is followed by infinitive to plus the simple form of the verb. Example: he ought to go to meeting. C. Modal cannot be followed by I verb in either tense. Incorrect. He can't come with use. Incorrect. He can come with use. Modal query can, will, might, etc. 1. Can and could. Can use for something generally possible, something we know, something happens. For example, one phrase can be here is London. The phrase is something very offensive is London. Example 2. It can be very cold here in winter. It is something very cold here in winter. Could is past tense of can. Cold is used to talk about specific possibilities. For example, they can be outcome maybe they are outcome. It can be rain also maybe is can outside. We use can to ask permission to do something, but could is more formal and voided they can. For example, can I ask a question? Could I ask this question, please? Interested? We can use to give permission of study. Someone has permission to do something. For example, 1. Can you borrow my friend if you like? Example 2. Student can travel for free. Number 2. Might and make. We use for present tense and make for past tense. Also, was can use both when you are not sure about something is present or future. For example, 1. She had no sleep. She might be tired before she tried. Check may be come to use us tomorrow. Before check will come to use us tomorrow. Express here her possibility of something happen will make here that it may not happen. For example, 1. Elsa may have killed but my phone was obsolete. Before Elsa had killed it. Example 2. It looks nice, but it may be very expensive. Paper it has very expensive price. But may and might can be used to express permission, but may vary some formality or strong command. That might I. For example 1. May I call you Elizabeth formal? Example 2. May I see you driver's lines formal? Example 3. May I see your credit card please? Very normal. Example 4. May I call you by your first name? Very normal. Use my when giving permission and saving someone have permission in a formal way. For example, you might know go now. Student might travel for free. We can use might to force permission or to say someone does have permission but is formal and emphatic. For example, 1. You might not borrow the car until you can be careful with it. Example 2. Student may not wear jeans to school. Number 3. Will and call. The meaning of the will and wrote is a phrase in the same with used to express belief about the present or future. and to think about will people want to do or are willing to do. For example, 1. Mark will be in his office present. Example 2. They will be late for tour. Example 3. He won't make in friend patrol. 1 is connection of will not use connectivity spoken or formal language. Word is past tense from a will because its first tense is used to talk about the past and talk about hypothesis when it makes something. For example, 1. When we were children, we would go to beach every summer. Some during her lunch time as a student, she would visit many food stalls. Use but will and what to make request. The meaning is some for but a request with what you is more common and is often considered more valid. For example, 1. Will you please help me? Example 2. Will you pass me the slide piece? Basically, you would have to some meaning. The difference is like would you? Do you want to do his place? Could you? Do you want to do his place? And it's possible for you to do this. A person usually response is the affirmative to a valid request. If a negative response is necessary, each person may begin by saying I like to, but for example 1, I like to pass the start, but I can reach it. Example 2. I did is connection of the word used quite for me in spoke of informally. Number 4, shall. When shall used for read a word in this question, the speaker usually making a suggestion and asking the person is she or he agrees with the suggestion. Is of shall reply formal and infrequent. For example 1. So you open the window. Is that okay with you? She will example 2. She will leave at 2. Is okay? Something shall we use to go the question after let's go shall we? Also, shall we use to have strong impression or assertion about the action the will happen if further shall use more fascinating this sort past from observe. For example, children shall come any time now. For example, tomorrow I shall be coming by this time. Number 5. So and ought to. Basically, so and ought to have the same meaning. They express ability. Ought to is normal than so. For example, you should study harder. You ought to study harder. The word should is used to show what the person thinks is best for the correct subject or person the things is right according to them. For example 1. You should visit your parents more often. Example 2. You should take a rest after this. Whereas the word I to is used to instead a more formal to is the sentence. We use ought to express omniscient or something variable. For example 1. He ought to be here. Example 2. You ought to get there in time. The word ought to is not usually used to question or negative sentence. If used to question sentence, we don't use don't, doesn't, and didn't. Correct. We ought to have ordered so much food. Incorrect. We don't ought to have ordered so much food. And it is a correction of ought not. In a question sentence is subject, ought not can position to from question. We ought the us do, does, or did. Correct ought to call the police. Incorrect this she ought to call police. Number 6. Must, have to, have, go to. Must and have to are both used for continuously and they are often similar. They are both version by the infinitive. For example 1. I must go now. Example 2. I have to go now. Have is corrected is compression. Must is used more informal writing and usually stronger than have to. Must can incident or can of stress importance. For example, when I'm looking for Sue, I have to talk to her about a plans date tomorrow. I can meet her for lunch because I have to go. A business meeting at 1 o'clock. The speakers mean say I need to do this and I need to do that. Example 2. Where's Sue? I must talk to her right away. I have a ride missing for her. The speaker simply saying this is very important. Must is often used for personal opinion about what is necessary to do. I have to find somebody it actually has said necessary to do. For example, one, I must remember to get a present to dance. My opinion. You have to look after today snack. To express say do. Do you have to wear sunscreen every morning? Asking about daily routine. The positive form of must have to called be very similar in meaning, but the negative form must have to are completely different. For example, you mustn't forget, don't forget if you have no choice. Example 2, if you don't like her, you don't have to hang with her again. There is a bulletin it how not with again, but they have a side. In a not smoking area, you mustn't smoke, but in smoking area you don't have to smoke, but you can if you want to. Have you got also expressed the idea of culture in uncertainty? Have got a formal and used formally in spoken English. For example, one, I have got to go now. I have a class in 10 minutes. Number sample 2, I have got to fly right now because my friend has left the apartment. Next, modal inquiry, ability, possibility, permission, and central. Number 1. Expressing ability, can and could. Expressing ability is a question of the ability of the thing. Use can and could to express ability. Example of can. Can express ability in the present of future. 1. Bob can play the piano. 2. You can buy a screwdriver at the store. 3. I can meet you tomorrow afternoon. The negative of can might be written can, cannot, or cannot. Number 1, I can understand the sentence. Number 2, Ellen cannot do the job. Number 3, they can dance very well. Example of code. The past of code is code. Number 1, our son coded when he was 1 year old. Number 2, Tom God left the book. The negative of code is called not. Number 1, he called what when I was 6 months old. Number 2, I couldn't see you. 2. Expressing possibility, might and might. Expressing possibility is a phrasing to express the possibility is something that flying whether something may happen or not. Use may and may to express possibility. In might express possibility is present future. They have the same meaning. Example 1. It may rain tomorrow. 2. It may rain tomorrow. 3. They might come by curtain. 4. Part A. Why St. John is closed? Part B. I don't know. He might or may be sick today. The negative of my admin is may not make. Do not contract. My enemy will not. Example 1. It might not rain tomorrow. 2. It might not rain tomorrow. 3. They might not come my curtain. 3. Expression permission, might and can. Expressing permission is a request interest to expression from other people is about the life. Might and can used to give permission. For example, 1. Is Jordan you might have a cookie after dinner. 2. Okay, kids, you can have a cookie after dinner. 3. May I leave every day? 4. Can you go home now? 1 and 2 have the same meaning, but my is for formal than can. The negative of my I can is might not and cannot. Can. are used to the information. Number one, you might not have a cookie. Two, you can bring food into class. Three, student might not prepare for. Three. 4. Expression advance, sought out to and had better. Expression part is expression of advice or recommendation to assure about sought be done, sought out to and had better have the same meaning. Sought plus some simple form of a verb, no to. Out plus two simple form of a verb. Sample 1. My clothes are dirty, I should wash them. 2. My clothes are dirty, I ought to wash them. 3. You're leaving to class, you'd better sew drawn. The negative from should and had better is should plus not, and had better not. Or the usually not used to negative. For example 1. I need you need your sleep. You should not so you stay up late. 2. You're better enough at the mind. It looks pointed. Number 5. Expressing ability. Have to, must, and slow. Expressing ability is expressed used to be expressed to ability rule or from aspect to actor or on slide. Use have to plus infinitive, must plus infinitive, and so plus infinitive to express ability. For example, I clearly have to go to school. Some 2. I must study today. Number 3. You should save some money. The negative of have to, must, and should is doesn't, don't, have to, mustn't, and so. 1. You don't have to add anything you don't like to. I don't have to work on today. 3. You mustn't smoke car. 4. You should smoke so much. Number 6. Expression request. Expression request is a expression of asking someone to do something if you want to make a question. Use will, would, can, or could. For example, on what you get the bot of the top slide. 2. Will you turn the music down? 3. Can you stay longer, please? 4. Could you help me, please? The negative from request sentence. 1. No, I won't. 2. Sure, I will not. 3. Alright, I won't. Last, 7. Expressing command. Expressing command is expressing command someone to do an action. Command are really or should be people we are considered such as pride. For example, in order for command to be sub or valid and the word place begin or the front of the sentence. 1. Offer your book, please. To read your name, please. 3. Please wash your hands. 4. Please chop your hair. The negative for command sentence use the word don't in the beginning of the sentence. 1. Don't go the price. 2. Don't give up. 3. Don't be crazy. 4. Don't cost your book plans. Next exercise. Choose the correct answers below. Number 1. This bag is very heavy. Please help me. I take it by Marcy. The answer cannot because they cannot show something that can be done. Number 2. My brother broke a glass in the kitchen, so he cleaned it or he will be punished. The answer must because must indicates necessity. Number 3. You please kick my paper for grammar's error. The answer can because they can show a request for help or something that can be done. Okay, thank you. Hope is useful. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.